Well, hello and welcome to the Confused Breakfast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Justin!
No.
It's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your house. But there was something truly special about heading through the wormhole into hell to check out their intense horror section, picking a movie out by hand, and returning to Earth to watch. On this podcast, I'm going to keep going. I don't know what happened.
Just go.
On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from the magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two dudes who have something hot and black inside of them this morning. Sean Pryor and AJ Venz. How the heck are you?
Well,
The coffee pods from Sam's Club.
What the fuck did you think I was talking about?
yeah.
Just, yeah.
I'm down. All right.
I had some black beers yesterday.
Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Well,
me.
well, boys, on today's episode, we travel back in time to review a movie that is the definition of a true flop at the box office that ultimately benefited from the time it was released when DVD sales carried it to cult classic status. A movie that reminds me time and time again that I don't want to go to hell or space.
Yeah.
We're, of course, talking about 1997's Event Horizon. AJ's favorite.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with the Confused Breakfast.
Spooky
Sit
chain
back,
music.
relax, and enjoy wherever you are.
Stop it.
Take it away, boys.
Well, if you're new to the podcast, it's spooky season.
Yay.
We're going to be reviewing Event Horizon scene by scene with a modern
That's me.
eye. But in order to do that properly, we must first discuss it with pure nostalgia. AJ, I know you love this movie.
Let's
Tell us
see
the
that.
first time you saw it, what your old school nostalgic rating was for this movie.
Yeah, that first time I saw this, I was like, dude,
It's like, this movie's fucking awesome.
space movies and Sam Neill, we're in like Jurassic Park and fucking space. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Let's go, dude. And then it wasn't that.
No.
And that's why I never saw this movie. They're like, hey, do you want to watch a movie about the 9 circles of hell and the horrible shit that probably happens to people and take the idea and make it reality? No. So I didn't watch it.
Sean, what about you, man?
Well, that's exactly the way I saw it and what my mindset was when I did. I was a little kid with my brother
God.
being babysat by my Uncle Ray. We were staying at his house, and I was
Ray.
playing with toys, and he just like put on a movie, and I'm like, I love Sam Neill because of Jurassic Park. So let's watch this movie for sure. And it's got space in it, and it's like action and stuff. That's awesome. And it's got the guy from freaking Matrix.
Yeah.
Scared the living fucking shit out of me seeing Sam Neill the way he is in this movie, and know nothing about it. Don't want to have anything more to do with it. This is a 2.
This is a 3 for me, guys. First time I saw it. This movie's the reason why I never saw The Fifth Element.
Oh.
Because for some reason, I thought they were the same movie.
Oh.
Event Horizon, Fifth Element, I just thought they were the same movie. And people are like, you want to watch Fifth Element? I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
I saw Event Horizon. I don't ever want to see it again. I don't like anything having to do with hell, demons, space.
Corbin Dallas.
I don't want it.
Corbin Dallas.
I don't want it. No, this was a movie you couldn't pay me to rewatch when I was younger.
Okay.
Do got an executive producer on the show, Josh Miller. He says, stop me if you've heard this before. I saw this movie in theaters.
Whoa.
All I remember was it wasn't heavily advertised. You know, back when most movies were heavily advertised on TV, as it was really the only place to advertise, except for the occasional radio trailer ad. Best I can remember, the first time I saw this, I came out underwhelmed. It's not that I hated it, it's just I didn't love it. I came out mostly confused by it. Don't get me wrong, I got it. But I felt like there was way more story to tell. I feel that we really got dropped into a 2.5-hour movie with 90 minutes to go. And the cast was mostly unknown to me at the time, except for Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne. At the time, I knew them from only Jurassic Park and Boys in the Hood. My nostalgic score is a whopping middle-of-the-road 6.7, part of the speed of light speed. See what I did there? No, I actually don't see what you did there.
No, I don't see what you did there.
Yeah.
No, wait. Yes, I do.
And this score really doesn't matter, and I know it doesn't. So a 6.70 is going to take us as a group to a 3.9, boys.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty good.
If you're going to look at on the scale of things, that is officially the second from the bottom of any movie we've done. Princess Bride still being the worst movie we ever saw nostalgically.
Of course.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
It's for girls.
But the Jaws and the Jaws and Shining are slightly above this movie nostalgically, but still pretty fucking bad.
Okay.
So we're going to strip it all away, though. It's time to talk about it modern day eye, and that's why we got to go to Sean for all the important details of the movie. What do you got, brah?
Produced by Jeremy Bolt and Lawrence Gordon and Lloyd Levin. Written by Philip Eisner. Music by Michael Kamen. He's been here before.
Oh, yeah.
We have done Lethal Weapon, Roadhouse, Die Hard, Last Action Hero, and X-Men. Prolific on this show.
That's right.
Cinematography by Adrian Biddle. We've also seen him. He did Aliens, and he did The Princess Bride, and he also did The Mummy. Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. He did Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, and Alien vs. Predator. Cast: Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, Kathleen Quinlan, Jolie Richardson, Richard Jones, Jack Noseworthy, Jason Isaacs, Sean Pertwee, Peter Marinker, and Holly Chant. Those are all. I didn't mispronounce any one of those.
Good.
After the success of Mortal Kombat, director Paul Anderson was looking for his next project and was offered many films, including Mortal Kombat Annihilation and X-Men. But Anderson turned all those down in favor of wanting to do an R-rated horror film. Writer Philip Eisner pitched the script as a haunted house movie in space, and the producers were trying to develop the concept with the writer. When Anderson read the script, he thought it was a little too derivative of Alien, having main elements of the ship being taken over by tentacle-clad aliens. Anderson took the script and did a rewrite, being mostly inspired and guided by films like The Haunting and The Shining, wanting the ship itself to be haunted, not the people or anything. The film was shot at Pinewood Studios, and sets were beginning to take shape. Anderson wanted the look of the exterior of the Event Horizon to look like exteriors of Notre Dame Cathedral, and the interiors were inspired by more gothic haunted house films rather than science fiction space films. With such a low budget and wanting the film to be out before Titanic, the production didn't have a lot of time to edit the film, having to turn in a rough cut without completed effects, sound, and an over 2-hour runtime. They literally gave him like 3 weeks as opposed to his promised like 10 weeks of editing, which is horrible. The producers tested the rough cut with no visual effects, not completed anything, to audiences who hated it, making the producers become involved in a way that pretty much took creative control away from Anderson. This movie got gutted by the producers. They didn't respect it whatsoever. They just wanted to get it out before the behemoth that Titanic was. Cut the thing to shit. Took the preview audience's word as gospel, even if it's not even a finished film. They just like, okay, well, they're all saying you got to cut out all the violence, so cut out all the violence. It just made this film not what it was supposed to be whatsoever, so it's kind of sad. Event Horizon was released on August 15th, 1997, and on a budget of $60 million, the film only made $42 million at the box office, but has since been praised as a cult classic. That's all I got.
Thanks, Sean. We got to go to AJ next for the ratings and reviews of critics and fans alike. What do you got, bro?
If you'd seen the things that I'd seen, you'd be doing the same thing as this right now. It's the Tomato Meter.
Gross. Yep.
Yeah, it kind of is. There's a 35%. Splurge.
It's not splat anymore. It's splurt.
No, they keep changing shit on us. Yeah. It's a splurt now. That's bottom 25 of any movie we've done. It's not as good as Final Destination, but it is better than Three Ninjas.
Oh.
Per the critics. Yep.
Per the critics.
Yep.
Well, it's a 61% from the popcorn meter.
Enjoy your popcorn.
It's a good movie. Oh.
I liked it. Maybe
I liked it.
Maybe that's what it just should be. It's just like, well, I liked it.
Well,
Jeez, Roger. Why are you being so hard?
Jeez, Raj. Is a 6.6 on IMDb, so some redemption there.
Dude, of all the movies we've done, 6.6 on IMDb of all the movies we've done,
6.6,
bro. That is tied with these terrifying flicks: Great Outdoors, Heavyweights, Mighty Ducks, Crocodile Dundee.
Great.
Those are all fun movies to
They're
watch.
fun movies, man.
Great. 50 out of 100. Chicago Sun-Times. Raj Ebe said the screenplay creates a sense of foreboding and afterboding, but no actual boating.
None of the motor kind either.
There wasn't any boating at all. There wasn't any foreboding, post-boating, motor boating. You're right, Sean. There wasn't any of that. God. Oh, well. Stephen Hunter says the Washington Post, the movie is very loud. It is pointlessly loud, arbitrarily loud, assaultively loud. There's a 30 out of 100. And Salon, our trusted friends in the hair industry, trying to figure out just what went wrong in the creation of a movie as dreadful as this may ultimately be as futile as trying to ascertain what might lie on the other side of a black hole. That was a 0 out of 100.
What?
That's quite a
Wow.
discrepancy. Now, but if you fold the paper together, that at the right point, that 0 out of 100, actually, you can fold it so it's 0 out of 1.
Yeah.
I like that. Yep.
Oh,
right?
now it's making a lot. Yeah, now it's making sense.
Now it makes sense to you
Yeah,
guys.
I get it.
See?
I get it.
This is a 2 out of 10. Horriventson? Hori-Eventson. 2024, warning spoilers. God. Yes, nonsensical and inconsequential header to this review. Since the movie is also non and inconsequential.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we get it. I know there's a point in reviewing this crap after all these years, but what the heck? There's no point in reviewing this crap after all those years, but what the heck? I need to get this silly grime off my chest. So let's make a cheesy horror blood flick, but let's be original and set it in outer space. That's all this movie was about. The movie starts with good premise, and with good potential to be interesting. It kind of keeps it initial promise for some about 20 minutes, but then spirals into a Class B horror bloodbath flick that has absolutely no point. Nothing. Zilch. So much could have been done with that initial premise. Instead, they chose the path of, it's not my job, I just work here. Fair enough. I had so many great ones on this. I'll save that one for the last. This is great, guys. This is just Haunted Spaceship. 6 out of 10. I like these middle ground ones, right?
Yeah.
A haunted house movie set in a spaceship. Even though I thought similarly about Alien, this is way more proper haunted house stuff with a lot of cliches. Production design, cinematography are the best thing about this movie for me. It would be good to see how it would have been if we ever got the original director's cut. Not as bad as the original reception, but not as great as the fans make it out to be. Understood.
Okay.
Repulsive, brainless junk. This is so good looking in 2021. There's nothing here. It's a hybrid of sci-fi and horror with none of the interesting features of either. Actually manages to waste a solid cast as well. What can you expect, really, from the directors of Resident Evil series?
Okay.
Smash. This is somebody's favorite movie, right?
No,
Somebody
it's gotta
likes
be.
this.
We're doing this movie on our show, so it's somebody's favorite. That means this is literally 10 out of 10. My favorite space movie, easily, and my 1400 review.
1400?
1400? 1400? 1400?
No, 14th. Oh, okay. Yeah.
1400th review.
You said 1400 review. Yeah, it's fine. Never mind.
Okay. I said it.
I was ready to make fun of that guy, but it was you the one that said it. So never
I'm the
mind.
one-
Strike it from the record.
I'm the one who fucked up.
Strike it.
Everything about Event Horizon is my jam. especially the fact it's about a crew that investigates a ship that disappeared into a black hole in which ensues chaos and some of the best horror ever. The cast is perfect for the story. They all flow very well. One of my favorite scenes is when Sam Neill explains the gravity connection with a naughty magazine page. That bit is brilliant.
Brilliant bit. It's an Englishman.
Yeah. I love deciphering that.
Oh, yeah.
The epilogue is one of the best in cinema history.
What's epilogue?
That's
The
Intro?
after credits.
The after-
the after credits. Oh,
thingy.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
When
Or just
everything-
like the scene after the penultimate
yeah.
conclusion to everything.
Yes. The epilogue is one of the best in cinema history. When everything is bonkers, I even put the scene on YouTube. That doesn't make any sense, sir. Another thing I must say is the editing is one of the greatest things ever. That's it.
They didn't have much time to do
They
it.
didn't have a
Nope.
whole lot of time.
Pretty good.
That was it. So that's all we got there, guys. Do we have any?
We
from
do.
the- Good.
If you go
Thank
to
God.
guys, if you go to patreon.com/confusedbreakfast, you get tons of great perks if you want to support the show. You can listen to bonus audio episodes. There's probably like 200 bonus audio episodes you get instant access to. You get to vote on upcoming movies. You get to do all kinds of stuff. But the Little Lebowski tier is where you get to get into this private little back channel where you get to give us your review of whatever movie we've done, and we say your name on air and we read it.
It sounds really cool.
It's very cool.
Pretty dope.
We got Jarrett Layoff today. You want to read it?
I will take care of that one. Jarrett. Jarrett said, I first saw this when I was finally getting into horror and just consuming everything.
Finally.
From the franchises. Shut up, Sean.
Sorry.
For the franchise Hellraiser,
Sorry.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Saw, to single masterpieces, The Thing, The Shining, etc. This fell into the latter. I really wish we could get the Lost Director's cut and get the extra 35 minutes. Despite that, this scared the hell out of me and honestly still does under the right circumstances. As much squelching as Hellraiser and an unknown possessive entity, hell yeah. Nostalgic, this is an 8.1 and a 7.5 modern.
Okay.
We've got some punchable faces, some props, some confusies. We'll deal with those when we get there, Jared.
Nice.
Well, damn it, boys. That's it. That's enough information and reviews.
Whoa.
It's time to review Event Horizon scene by scene with a modern eye.
Oh, okay.
I want you calm. I want you cool. Now, you're both going to pull up your notes, crack open another beer, and you're going to give the best damn analysis of this movie that's ever been given. No mistakes. If you make a mistake, nobody goes home tonight. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Sounds kind of fun. Lock-in pizza? You going to do that?
Here we go.
Kind of trite.
So scene 1, in the year 2047, a signal from Starship Event Horizon is picked up on Earth. Rescue ship Lewis and Clark is dispatched to investigate. The already familiar crew is joined by the Event Horizon's designer, Dr. Weir, who unveils the ship's secrets after they arrive. Some of the crew board to search for survivors. Medical tech Peters discovers a frozen human corpse floating on the bridge. Engineer Justin enters the ship's core and is sucked in. It emits a large shockwave, damaging the Lewis and Clark.
No subtlety whatsoever to start this off. Just intense techno music and just like a weird black and blue hole in space. I have to think that this was added on, or this is just Paul Anderson's thing, because it's a lot of this in a lot of his movies. It's just like, and then
Mortal
it's like,
Kombat, anyone?
yeah, exactly.
All right, sounds
But
good.
then there's subtlety. Then there's like the Alien kind of setup where it's just like telling you like the trajectory of the Event Horizon itself and everything, and then it's like this year it did this and this year it did that, and a little bit of nuance of this, and then 2047. Now, no, but for real, it's now we're caught. Now we're caught up.
Here
now
we
it's
go.
right here.
I thought that was the dumbest choice ever. Instead of like 2047, present day, it just goes now.
Now,
Now.
No, it's like 2047 now.
Now.
like they just crossed over the calendar. No, for real. It just happened
It's
right
January 1st.
now.
The credits are very upsetting.
now. Thank you.
And it's just like, it might as well be like the space. I just somebody redo this these credits, but put the Spaceballs music over the top of it.
And then go to the. I actually wrote that this is the second worst intro that we've done.
Wow.
And only
Up to
because of how
speed.
short it was.
Okay.
It was just shorter. Yeah.
If this would have been longer, it would have been worse than Speed.
It's like TBS had this idea that they got from like Alex Mack meets Stargate, and then they're like, let's just make it this, and then all the words go into the black hole part of it. That means something.
Well, here's the worst trend of music in recent history that we know is going to go away really quickly, but we should use it. They could have used like a new metal song and it would have been more efficient than this kind of techno.
This
is the worst kind of techno. Fuck. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it was like, this is what, 97? So we could have got like Blind by Korn or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I would have hated on it, but I still would have been like, it's better than techno.
I guess Paul Anderson was close with like I think it was the same guys who did the music for Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, hey, we really want to, like, I want you guys to do this music. And then this is where the producers got invested and they're like, no, we're not going to do that. So instead they were like, use this type of music.
My cousin's a DJ.
Yeah. My cousin's a DJ. He'll make something for us. That's basically what Paul Anderson said. But then he was like, all right, but I'm still going to mash them together. And that's how we get like the end credits of this. I imagine there's something with the intro credits as well. I don't know. We get over it. And one of the worst things to me is, like you're saying, though, setting this up with just the words. And it's like, you're giving us a lot of backstory, but it's borderline pointless backstory.
Doesn't make it.
Like 2015, the first permanent colony is set up on the moon. I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
We
We
never set foot on a planet in this entire movie. I kind of
They just want
about
you to know how advanced we are. That we could be able to establish this kind of a technology.
We have a mining camp on Mars.
But they're also this is 97. They're saying in 18 years from when they wrote this movie, they're like, we'll be on the moon by then. Like, no, we won't. 2015, Back to the Future 2 at least was like the 80s. I mean, 2015 was a long time from the 80s. This is 97. We're already talking about Y2K at this point,
yeah,
and how many problems we're going to have there.
Yeah.
We're like, we'll be on the moon by 2015.
We'll be next to Neptune. Guarantee that.
Black holes, I'm sure we could figure that out.
We could explore space by this point. It's just, and then we drop in and we're on Sam Neill.
I had this horrible dream that I was floating around in all this horrible CGI. Oh my God. Like,
was it him he was dreaming about? He was dreaming about himself in that moment?
I have to imagine it was just like a point of view kind of dream thing. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
You're right.
But it's just like this. I mean, this CGI is unforgivable to be like a lot of it anyway, especially because it seems like they just figured out this cool hack for CGI. I'm sure it looked okay back then. Fine.
I'm sure it very much was like, wow, that's really cool.
Fine. But like it's like
and then Matrix came out and everybody fucking forgot about it.
It's like they saw this cool thing that they could do was like have this object come so close to the camera and then go by. They do it all of the time. And I'm just like, you don't. Like, not every time. We just don't.
It's like they were planning to make a release of this in 3D or something. You know, 3D in the theater.
Yes.
My biggest problem though is that like he wakes up, like Sam Neill wakes up, right? And he's just like, that nightmare again. And it's like, okay. And then he sees a few pictures of his wife and he picks one up. He's like, wife. And then he sets it down into a stack of other photos. It's just like, are you just moving them one by one over to this?
He's getting ready to leave. He's getting off this space station. He's got to pull his pictures off one day at a time.
One day at a time.
That's how he knows when he's going home.
Yeah.
It's like if every day he pulls off one picture.
It's like an
Today's
advent
the
calendar.
It's an
It's an Event Horizon Advent calendar.
religion.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no.
This fucking shot though, that like this blows me away, Sean. This rotating shot that happens when it comes out from him and it goes through and the earth's in the background. It's 45 seconds long of just like, fuck, God, I don't even, why are we doing this? That was a third of the budget for this movie.
Like there's special effects or something.
No, just this 45-second
God.
rotating shot was 1/3 of their budget, and it took 10 weeks for them to make. And it's the most unnecessary, pointless thing that I've ever seen in film.
It's not even on the ship.
That we haven't even established anything that we care about yet.
It's not an establishing shot at all.
It's like, whoa.
It's
Other
actually
than the fact
a dream, so it has no bearing on the plot whatsoever
we're just
to
here.
our main characters.
Yeah, we're just here, and it's just there's the shot. We're in space.
Pretty cool.
Did you know?
They're gonna love this.
I need the audio clip of Mike from our Speed episode of when you described that intro and somebody make it be like, somebody made this. It was just like, oh, this is the best. That's the audio
Oh
clip.
my God.
Insert here for like special effects, just faux pas and just like fuck up.
And it's just like
Wastes.
cue you going like this, going, they're gonna love this, and then just sitting back waiting for the Oscar nomination. I'm not gonna do anything until that Oscar nomination comes through.
No, I don't need any more work. This is the pinnacle.
This is the pinnacle. What am I gonna do? Top this?
I just like we finally I don't know, we take a little bit of time here. Does it kind of just drop us right into the crew then after
It really
this?
does. Like we get Lawrence Fishburne in his sick ass chair.
Fuck yeah.
I don't like that chair. I don't like. He's like.
It's very awkward. It's like he doesn't know how to perform in it. Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys noticed this. It's so uncomfortable looking.
Normally the captain's chair is dope,
Yeah,
and it
it's
makes you like you're kind of. But he's like, God, I fucking hate this chair.
It's this big, it's this massive chair that he has to be like, tell me more good news, damn it.
And it's too slow. It's too slow for him to like react. It's like, all right, now how are the rotary girders looking? Okay, good. Now Peters.
Peter, where are you?
How's the maps looking?
It looks so
Thank you
awkward.
so much for saying that.
I'm so glad we all noticed
It's
this.
just hanging there.
It is. It's like, it makes a lot of sense, right? But it's like, they made it at like 4/5 to scale. Because he has to cram into it. Anyways, I love the crew. The crew is
Do we,
awesome.
Is this movie Alien? Like, are they essentially ripping off Alien?
I can
It's a
tell,
ghost story alien.
I can tell they're trying so hard not to be, but it's so hard to not just be it.
No, literally,
because it's like the template.
We have a blue collar ship of a crew that's going to go into some sort of stasis that has to go off their mission to go to somewhere they don't want to go, to identify like a signal of a lost ship where there's just a terrifying evil entity on there. Like it felt exactly like we just did Alien, like 5 weeks ago?
I will give it this, that's pretty much all they took from it, to be honest. Was like the premise and like their device on how to get there or where they need to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like after they get there, it does kind of become a haunted house movie in space. I will give it that.
The premise is there. It's similar. I like that there does feel like there's some sort of point, honestly, to them getting into the cryostasis.
Yeah. Because
we need to feel that like there's an animosity between the crew, and Dr. Weir is an outlier.
Yeah.
He's an outsider of this crew. He's not a part of it. He's along for the ride. And so that I think is interesting. The other end of it, though, oh man, I might have to bring that. I'll bring that up later as far as an alien reference. But I like that. I like that they're getting into it, into the stasis and everything. I like we just have another great cast and crew that works very well off of each other, and they're doing their jobs very well. Because I will say the collective shots of them like at the bridge, I think it's very good because they're all doing what they do in these wide shots. I think that's very well done.
I agree with you.
They're working very well together.
I said it in Alien, but like they all in Alien feel like their individual jobs are like even just them like touching like boards or like doing their work on the ship is very believable to me, and I do feel the same way about these guys. Like even Sean Pertwee, I think he's the English guy, the kind of balding one.
I love
shaved
him.
one.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
He's great.
He's in a movie called Dog Soldiers. I really like him in. But I agree with you. I like everybody here. I have a weird non-affinity towards Jack Noseworthy. I don't know why.
Which one's that?
He's
The
Justin.
ensign.
Yeah. It's his ears.
He's the.
It is.
Oh no, yeah.
No, that's exactly what it is.
I know exactly what you're.
I read that
you're
on a
talking
message
about,
board. That's not my personal opinion.
You're talking about fucking ears? Yeah.
Oh, ears.
Yeah, that guy
Earsworthy.
That guy sucks.
Is it noseworthy?
Eyesworthy.
I don't know what it is about him, but yeah, it's the rest of the cast I really like. Like Kathleen Quinlan's back from Breakdown. Also Jack Noseworthy. He was in Breakdown. Yeah.
I don't like how nonchalant they are. They essentially are on the bridge and they start a 10-minute countdown before they have to warp. And it's something that then they have to get up. 10 minutes is not a long time. They have to get up, travel all the way to the back of the ship, and then still like get ready to get into their pods. They're not. It's going to take them a long time to get fully in, get all their shots. When we are told that skeletons can liquefy at 30 Gs, which is what they're going to pull immediately when this 10-minute countdown ends, and they're not even ready to get in their pods. This is just very nonchalant spacing from these guys.
It takes at least. I know this. It takes at least 2 minutes for those individual jacuzzis that they're in to fill up with water.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
and they all
I've
got to
seen
get their shots.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
They all got to get a drag of a cigarette before they go in.
Yeah, of the same cigarette.
Yeah.
Because they're all just sharing cigarettes constantly. It's
Well,
like prison in here.
They're a crew. They're a real tight-knit crew.
We're a real tight-knit
We need to know that.
We're a real tight-knit crew. We share smokes. I know who has my brand and stuff. It's like it's true. It's like prison or something. These things are so hard to come by.
You couldn't pay me to sleep in a water tube.
No.
I'd be so uncomfortable.
No.
I don't care if you even put me to sleep. I'd still know. I just won't do it.
I'm officially to the point where I've gone past the point of no return of like, if this is
event
possible.
horizon.
Yeah, if this is possible someday in my lifetime where you can go into a stasis pod and travel to Neptune, I'm not doing it.
No.
Like, I'm not. It's a young man's game.
I think I might skip. I haven't seen most of this Earth yet.
Yeah, Earth is great. Actually, let's get everybody off of Earth so like we can just like have less population here. Send them all to Mars.
Go ahead.
Send the
stupids.
youngins. Send the youngins to go recolonize.
All the Justins of the world.
All
Send
the
them
Justins.
there.
Send them off, man.
I think that's a great ploy, actually. It's like, guys, we have colonized on Mars. We're sending the brightest, the boldest, the strongest up to Mars. Are you ready to go? And then turns out it's just a bunch of people we don't like. And they got to go. And we're like, oh, thank God. I can actually just, drive down the street now without fear of getting hit by a car,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great idea. I think we're onto something here.
One of my major hang-ups of this movie is the jump scare setups that they have just are so dumb. Like this first one with Weir seemingly getting up first and like, what was that noise? What's going on? He sees his wife sitting there and he comes up to her and is like, nope, she's behind you now. I was like, why?
What?
Yeah.
How? Why?
And what is it even? And like, why does this even happen? He hasn't quite. They never establish why he's doing this because like
this is my biggest problem with the movie.
he hasn't gotten possessed yet, right?
That's the thing.
It's like he's been haunted by it ever since he created it. I guess it doesn't.
But
that doesn't matter.
But that's the thing. It's all speculation on our side.
Yeah.
Like it's not something we can like latch onto and be like, no, it's because we don't have any backstory of this. We don't have this idea of like, oh, he was one of the creators. I'm sure like every, plenty of the original people who built this ship and built this black gate or black hole creating thing. They all suffer from this. Turns out Weir's actually the only one who's left who hasn't like gone off the rails and killed himself or something. No, we don't get any of that. We just get like, he's going and this is a thing.
And he knows everything about this ship. He gets to do the fold the paper trick, which I can already think of 2 movies that has done that trope. One being Interstellar, where like
it was inspired by
was
this.
it?
Yes.
Has
a lot
that-
of movies were inspired by this.
Okay, like the
Yes.
idea of folding the paper and saying, well, yeah, you go from this hole to that hole. Check it out. I can't think of any others, but I'm sure there were others that have used that.
Yes.
There's I think that there are a lot. I think this may spoilers. This could very well become another conversation of this movie may have ran a little bit so others could run.
Perhaps.
And maybe inspire some tropes and other things that we might consider a little cliche. But I also think that this did several things second and may not have done it as well. So I don't know. But up to this point, the whole stasis pod thing, number one, you're right. I'm never getting into a stasis pod. It's like, no, but dude, we can go to Jupiter, and it turns out the other side, not the storm side of Jupiter, but the other side, it's like a fucking oasis that goes on for days.
Floston Paradise.
And then I'd be like, no, because you said I have to get in a stasis pod.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
it's
going
fine.
to do it.
It's the reason we put you in the stasis pod is because 7 months are going to go by.
Yeah.
Where we just can't give you air and oxygen. We don't have enough food for you, and we're just going to shut the ship down while 7 months go by. Oh, okay.
No.
No.
No,
No.
no, I'm going to stay here, dude.
No.
No.
It's like, can't I just stay up and play cards?
How about
Like-
if I don't know, read some books and learn
Just-
some shit?
Just
Nah.
put a bunch of like Tombstone or Red Baron pizzas. If times are tight, just put a bunch of Jack's pizzas
Let's
on
go.
there, and I'll play
Self-rising,
cards.
baby.
Let's go. Come on. But no, I'm not getting in that. And then I just think that it is like the trope of like, is really the best way to get out of these pods, just fall out of them.
Yeah.
Everybody just falls right out.
No, of course. You remember in
There's
Alien?
no graceful way out of these
listen.
pods.
You remember in Alien when there was that room with all the water dripping down, and we're like, "What is that for?" That's just below the pods.
Leakage.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
below they all fall out on the floor and it
Oh,
falls
dude,
down.
he was getting a golden shower.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, he
yeah.
was.
Tight, dude.
He was
Yeah,
into
you
that.
pee in your pods.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a pea pod.
This is very much like Alien, where like the trope, the scary movie trope of like, don't go in the basement, like, what are you doing? Don't go in there. Like, these are the movies, the same with Alien, the same with this, where, dude, what are you doing? You just heard the story of what they told about this ship.
Yeah.
It disappeared. It's here again. There's a massive, we're not finding life forms. We're finding a massive life form. And now we're hearing the audio of the last transmission of this.
Hey, we picked up this recording. You guys just take a listen. This is kind of what we're getting into. It's just screaming. It's just obviously people screaming. It's like, oh yeah, that sounds like screaming.
I think they were having fun. I think they were having
Screaming's
fun.
not good, so we're going back.
It's kind of like a joke they were playing on us, we think. You guys tell us what you think. Click. Click. What do you guys think? It's pretty funny, right?
Hey, wait, do
Funny?
do we not think that anyone on Earth currently, or anyone that works for NASA, can speak Latin and maybe interpret this ahead of time?
Thank you.
John,
It took until now.
That's
where
a dead
someone's just
language,
like,
man.
I think that might be Latin.
some guy that fucking works on a blue collar spaceship's like, yeah, I know Latin.
Yeah.
Like, no, could anyone have deciphered this?
No one noticed this until now.
Hey guys, listen. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I think there's some Latin over some like whales getting raped. Like, what's going on here? That's what this. It's
You don't go on this ship.
You don't go on this ship. You can even hear it. Even comes with its own soundtrack to this horror, because you can hear like this overtone music while it's playing. You're just like, no, this is the worst freaking thing. This is the worst noise on the planet.
Let's go.
Sounds good.
Well, hey, we got to check it out. We got a job here.
We got a job to do. Somebody drops the ball, we take the call.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lawrence.
I will say, I think that what we've been saying, I think like they set up the characters really well. Like, we don't learn what they're actually doing until Weir gives him the brief of this.
Yeah.
And I like these things. I like this kind of horror. This kind of horror is really great, and they do this subtly throughout the movie sometimes, but then they just kill it with a stupid fucking jump scare that sucks.
Yeah.
But what they do set up is just like I say in a lot of these episodes where like it's story time. He's telling the story of the event horizon and showing an audio recording of like what happened or what might have happened, whatever. It's building the story up, building the lore up, and it's scary. And Lawrence Fishburne's having a great time in this movie. I really enjoy him in this. He's hamming it the fuck up, especially when they get on the ship. He's just like, he looks down. He's like, it's a shot of this thing that says explosive device. He's like, what's this?
Explosive device.
Ah, okay. He's like, I'm in the med lab. No signs of life. There's something about his performance. It's just hokey but fun.
There's a problem here, though, too. Because
your point is valid.
Yes, but.
Yes, but. And another favorite point of redundancy, right? It's just the same thing. There's a theme throughout this movie of redundancy. And it's like taking the photo from a group of photos and then putting it with a bigger group of photos. It's Lawrence Fishburne going in. He said, no signs of life. Scanning for life forms. God damn it. Stop.
But the interior of this ship is terrifying.
Oh,
and that's maybe another problem is that it's the story's scary enough, and then the interior's scary enough. The idea of it's scary enough, but then they had to go and add the CGI, the floating wristwatch.
Yeah.
The floating, just terrible body of the old captain, the Corpsicle. Like you
name.
You got it.
Nice.
You got me scared enough of being on here, and now I'm actually kind of getting less scared.
Yeah,
because of how not good it is.
It really is. I think it's kind of. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying because like the setup is so cool. Like just the premise alone is fucking awesome. It's just some of the execution is just not done very well. Like especially what you're saying, and it's not subtle whatsoever. I think a haunted house kind of story requires subtlety. Requires like. To me, anyway, I want to be creeped out. I don't want to just be like, ah!
Yeah.
And it's a girl with no eyes.
Ah! Well, and you know what? The thing of it is, like, the corpsicle thing, like that floating thing, is killed by the jump scare of Lawrence Fishburne, just that glove.
Yes.
It's like, oh, we got a hand. It's a glove. He freaks out. It's a fun joke. Oh, looks like Cap's got a case of the willies down in there. We're all having fun watching them. And then, and then that glove just floats away. And then we get that, and it's like, I'm not scared of this anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, maybe that's what they're trying to do, but I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even as a person who doesn't appreciate like the jump scares, if you're going to give me a jump scare, then give me something to be scared of.
Right.
I don't like you're saying, Sean, hokey scares that are pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of haunted houses, though, like this cylinder room to get into the core.
Where they filmed that NSYNC video.
Yeah.
Have you ever walked there? There was a couple great haunted houses around the area that used to have one of
It
those.
was like a fun house kind of thing.
Dude, those are, I hate those.
They're very disorienting.
Because I don't understand how it literally fucks you up if you're trying to walk in a straight line through something spinning around.
Your equilibrium is just blown.
You ever look at like a
wild.
ceiling fan and try and focus on one blade as
Yeah.
it goes around? It's like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because eventually, like, your eyes eventually, like, throw your head to do this. And if you let it go on long enough, you would just be, like, spiraling out yourself. But, yeah, that whole room, they call it the meat grinder room.
Right.
It's just terrifying. Like you don't need all the sharp edges. Then you get into the core room. I guess originally they wanted the core to just be already a self-contained just ball floating there.
Oh,
It's
okay.
supposed to be very simple.
Yeah, it's supposed to
Very
be a simple design, but the fact that was always the most terrifying thing to me is that room and the thing spinning and all the spikes on the walls. I'm not going in there. It's like the alien room when they go into the where the space jockey is. I'm like, no, I'm not going in there.
One thing this movie does have going for it is the set design is pretty fucking phenomenal.
It's
like
great.
it ain't as well executed as Alien, or maybe even It's not as good as Alien, but it's up there. I think
those aspects are definitely up there.
As they're walking through these sets, they look phenomenal.
The cross glass that looks like, I mean, the blood, when lightning flashes in the blood in the guts, like that's scary.
Yeah.
The only things I could think of, like when, because it's Justin who's going through the engine room the first, right? He's the one who's actually going down there.
Correct.
Justin's the one that goes into the hole.
Yeah. And so, like, the only thing I could think of by the time it finally got there is over the top of this, he's going through the meat grinder room. He goes into this crazy room with all these things, and then he sees the thing, and he kind of plucks it, and it's just like, what it's like to chew 5 gum. And I'm just like, God damn it. It's like, that's all I could fucking think of was those stupid commercials.
They really do look like that.
I'm like, well, I'm out of this. It's like, there's just no way.
Well, he reaches in, he's like, oh shit. Yeah, oh shit.
Yeah.
Literally the last thing I would ever do.
Hey, didn't the doctor tell you that there's a black hole that exists on this
Remember
planet?
the whole story?
Ooh, that might be it.
What do you think the big black blobby looking hole looking thing is? Probably a black hole.
Idiot.
Weird. Super weird.
Well, scene 2, boys. Rescue tech Cooper manages to pull Justin out of the core by his tether, but he's catatonic. With the Lewis and Clark heavily damaged, the remaining crew transferred to the event horizon. A short time later, Justin emerges from his catatonia and attempts to commit suicide by ejecting himself from an airlock. Although Justin is rescued by Miller, he's seriously injured. This is like, Sean, these are the moments that terrify me, though. You just saw what happened. We know that this ship is terrifying. We know that a giant explosion came from a core, and now one of our members was in something, and now he's out, and now he's catatonic, and now we all have to get on board the ship.
Yeah.
This
is our only option, is to be in the haunted house.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Great. It's great. I mean,
No, it's great.
no, it's great. It's
No,
awesome.
no, it's
awesome.
super great.
No, we
Yeah.
got to go to the Corpsicle ship. Let's go there with the guy floating. Well, he exploded now, but
Well, he's not there anymore. Yeah, it's. I mean, what a great premise for it. I guess is like, but the problem I have with this is it's 101 for horror movies, and as far as the trope goes. And it started right off, actually, and even the last scene was there's 3 of them that go onto the ship that start to explore, right? And then there's 2 of them that's like, all right, what's Peters? You and me go this way. Hey, rookie, go alone down to the dark corridor with the meat grinder room.
the one we call Baby Bear.
Yeah, Baby Bear. You go down alone to that, separate from everyone else at the farthest reaches of the frickin' ship, away from all of us. Great. Now, that's terrible. To me, that's not great writing, if you will. It's tropey. But this creates a better scenario where, well, the ship blew up. Now it puts us all together, but it's forcing us to have to separate because somebody has to go repair the ship. Mm-hmm. Somebody has to go up to here. Now I like that. And so it's one of those things that became blatant to me, like, once this started to happen. And then it becomes blatant again. It's like, why is Peters alone? Why is anybody alone on this ship? What happened to the buddy system? Isn't this military? What are we doing? There's no buddy system. That pisses me off. I don't know.
No, I mean, I get it. And like, even to further the tropiness of the jump scare thing, it's like when Weir has to go into the cool fucking green room thing that, like, he's going to fix the core or whatever.
Yeah, this is the vent system. It's the coolest thing of the ship.
It's so cool looking. Like this, like, again, the sets are great. And like this, you could have done so much here where it was just like, if you were just a little bit more subtle about it, and like his like haunting thing is his wife, obviously, with the no eyes. If it was just like, if she was like peeking at him behind a corner or something, and then just kind of like went behind the corner again, that would be way more scary than just like, I'm right here again.
No eyeballs, blah!
Hey, Weir, you left me or whatever, or some
Forever.
like whatever, or some shit. It's just like, it's so in your face and so like, ugh. But like if you drew it out and like made it creepy. Like
Or
settle
maybe
in your
that's
bones.
what it was gonna be, or something. Too.
Exactly.
You never know.
Like you have to bring that up, and maybe that was what it was going to be.
And they said they lost it. They like did have a cut, but it's all lost, and
Yeah.
nobody can find it. And
I was gonna say, like, here's the reminder as we're discussing this movie. This was edited and then should have had a re-edit.
Yeah.
Let's be fair.
Or a couple.
A couple because they took too much out, and that's what Paul Anderson really ended up saying. He said, I think I took 10 minutes extra that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And that's literally what he said. Because
Deadline.
Because of deadline.
Yeah.
He had a week to do it. You have a week to get this done, and you better get it done because we don't have a summer blockbuster this year because Titanic got pushed back. Yeah.
this is it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, the one creepy scare is the flaming guy that happens to Captain Miller.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just comes out of the water. I'm like, that's where you need to be. That's like
the one.
It's subtle, but not being subtle. That's just creepy. It's just such a stark thing to see a burnt guy on fire.
Yeah.
Saying your name, that is a good effect. I like it.
This is the explanation of stuff though that we need. We finally get a little, I think, eventually from Captain Miller that it's like it's playing on their personal horrors, past whatever, fears, things like that. I just wish we got more understanding of that somehow. I don't know how you do it.
No.
I'll be honest with you. It's a complaint that I don't have. I can't bring anything to.
And again, maybe it was there, but
Exactly. It very well could have been. And it's a bummer because we should have been able to latch on a little bit more with the characters. If this is ultimately their demise is based on their fears, we should have known more about them in the movie. Yeah.
I do like Cooper a lot. I mixed emotions on him
I did
overall.
too.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, cause sometimes I'm like, God damn it, you're just terrible. And then sometimes I'm like, this is fucking awesome. My favorite part from Cooper is when he is freaking out and he's kind of yelling at Weir.
Weir, yeah.
And he's like, what? He goes, what the fuck? And Miller goes, Cooper, settle down. He goes, I'm sorry.
You're out of line.
I thought that was his best moment of the movie.
yeah.
Like,
And a little bit after that too, he's like, maybe he was, I don't know, maybe, sorry, no offense, but maybe you're suffering from some kind of space psychosis. Space psychosis? What the fuck? He's like, calm down, I'm like,
I'm sorry.
yes, that shit is great. I love him in those aspects.
He brings some much needed comic relief. Like, even though it's not a funny scenario, his reactions to everything are somewhat comical. So it's a realistic response, really, that we're all thinking like, yeah, what the fuck are you talking?
Yeah.
Like,
I know
that's
what I
really-
saw.
I know what
fucking asshole.
and that's kind of what I like about this too. Is like,
Yes.
is Weir is again, you don't know when Weir is like a part of this or not a part of this.
Yeah.
To a degree. And again, I wish we kind of got a little bit more because this isn't like, it's not like The Thing where it could happen at any time. It's like, no, you're just on the ship now. So what's going on? There's no timeline. There's nothing to really play with. And it's not fun to dive into like The Thing. But this is just like, oh, we don't know. Weir's just trying to like make sense out of things for people in a scientific way. But then at the same time, we're all thinking the same thing. It's like, I know what I fucking saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
And I think I'm kind of fine with that aspect, but I don't know. It just seems like it's pulling at itself.
Even
It's
sometimes
weird.
like the characters are a little rational.
Yeah.
Here and there. Where like even later Captain Miller's when they're gonna get off the ship, but Weir's not letting them or whatever, he's like, fuck this ship.
I know.
Like we would all say.
I love that.
Like he's just like done with it. Like, no, we're fucking leaving, asshole. Fuck
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah.
And the ship.
The rational thoughts of like at that point when it is literally thinking it's Weir against Miller in a way, and he's literally saying it's like, well, we have a job to do. He's like, we had a mission. Yeah, you're right. Save the crew and secure anything like left of the ship. Crew's dead. Fuck this ship. That's basically what it is. Yeah. It's like, well, we have a job to do. It's like, we're aborting the mission. What do you want to fucking hear?
Job's done.
We're out.
We're
bro.
done.
Job is done. Yeah, and we talk about it a lot. I do love when like that's why I love Interstellar so much, is that they stick with the idea of what we know about space and how things work, and they try their best to live within it. This movie it doesn't matter. Like, they're in space just to be in space. Like, they don't
Sure.
care about anything related to actual science. I mean, at one point they show like the exterior of the ship and there's wind rustling noises. Like, there's no fucking wind in space. They show the outside and it goes like to just show how cold and dangerous space is. Like, whoa. Okay. And like the fact that he goes out the airlock, man, like that's not how that works. I don't think you just survive and cough blood up and like, we can save him, I think.
Yeah, depressurization. I think this is how it works.
I think this is how it works. They just don't care.
We don't
At
know
this
how
point,
it-
they're like, it doesn't matter. We're dealing with evil here, so who cares about space?
Space is what it is.
Yeah.
We have to deal with evil inside here. Okay?
It's oh man, you're right. It's like they tried to add that multi-layers of danger.
Ooh.
And it's like we already know space is dangerous. Like you don't have to like retell us that
In
space
fact, you made it seem less dangerous.
Yeah. It's like because apparently you can survive from like being pulled out into space. No, you don't you already froze to death in a matter of seconds.
You're dead.
So that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else is wondering about that. No, that guy's dead.
You're already dead.
Yeah.
Because you went to hell.
Yes. Well, yes.
Right?
And you know what? You're right. So
He, like, the
hell
fact
should
that,
be worse
and
than
then the fact that he's like, he wakes up from being in hell and he's still evil, but then all of a sudden he's like, what's happening? I'm awake again. And then
yeah. So all you needed was loud noises,
Justin!
or the call of Lawrence Fishburne to bring you back to reality. That's all you needed.
That's all you needed, bro. Well, let's
This is brutal though.
it's terrifying.
Like, I
Oh,
mean,
dude.
the CGI is pretty good when he's like his veins are starting to
Yeah,
pop
yeah.
out and his like eyes are bleeding and shit. It is pretty brutal to see that. And if it wasn't so fucking dumb that he didn't freeze right away to get Cap Miller to push him back inside is kind of a cool concept.
Yes.
You know, I don't know. But yeah, it's dumb.
Well, let's do scene 3. So soon afterwards, the rescuers begin to experience hallucinations of their personal fears and regrets. The crew discovers that although the ship's drive successfully opened a gateway in space-time, it actually led outside the known universe and into another dimension described as pure chaos, pure evil. They find a video of the previous crew losing their minds. The one thing you did say, Lawrence Fishburne is having fun, and I do like him in this, but there is a scene here where he drops a couple F-bombs and it just feels so unnatural. Like the dialogue was written poorly.
Oh, like fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, F-bombs.
Okay.
F-bomb.
We don't swear on the show.
Not
This
the F
this is
word.
yes, no. He says fucking fuck like 3 or 4 times and it just sounds like he's never said the word.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all due respect, we're getting off this fucking ship. It's like, okay. Okay, whatever, man.
Okay. Yeah. I just let's see. Where the hell are we even, I guess? At this point we're thinking like we're seeing a lot of different hallucinations from like people, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It's like somehow it's personal, but it feels very impersonal. I don't know. Like that's what I mean. It's like if we're gonna have these fears, then they should just be. We should have been able to figure this out or find out more about it. I think a little bit, than it just popping up and being like, "Oh, this is something that bad that would happen."
And we get Captain Miller's right here though, which is my favorite scene of the movie, where he's talking to the medical guy. I forget his name.
DJ.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, isn't he in Patriot? Is he the bad guy in Patriot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
He's talking to him, and he's giving the backstory of the fire guy.
Right.
Of, like he didn't save his crewmate.
Right.
Pretty much. And this is really creepy. This is backstory, but also it's really creepy because the recording comes back, the Latin thing comes back. His DJ is like, or it was showing me my past, or it was showing me like my deepest fears are just coming to get me. He's like, you don't believe in that stuff, do you, DJ? He's like, you don't believe it? And he's like, well, I have this recording I kind of misinterpreted. The Latin actually says, get out of here in hell, or like
Save yourself.
Save yourself from
yeah,
hell.
Not save me, save yourself.
Save yourself from hell. And he says, you don't believe in that stuff, do you? He's like, whoever sent that message believes
Sure
in
did.
hell.
Ooh.
That shit's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That should have been the tone of the movie.
Those moments right there, great.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
And great
Whoever-
performances by these guys too, right here.
He said, "Do you believe in hell?" And he said, "Whoever made that message believes in hell."
It's so good.
Oh,
That's really fucking awesome.
But Sean, dude, you nailed it. Like, you know, we talked about it. I re-listened to the Blair Witch episode, and we talked about how I think it was Mike in there says, like, listen, if that's somebody fucking with us this deep in the woods, I don't want anything to do with it. If that's not somebody fucking with us in the woods, I don't want anything to do with it.
Still don't want anything to do with
Correct.
That is what this is. Like, this is like, I don't want anything to do with anything. I don't know what it is, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's where you're absolutely right. The tone of this movie should have stayed that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's creepy. That's like,
That's terrifying,
It sets
man.
a tone, and they should have played off that tone and just kept it subtle like that.
Yeah.
But
You're 100% right, because otherwise you get these moments where Peters like sees that in the medical bay, that tent top thing, and then pulls it off, and it's her son, who has like it's the thing with his legs or whatever,
Leeches on his legs or
Yeah.
something.
like came out of the pond from Stand By Me, and like but apparently everybody on this ship, even though we're on the death ship, everybody walks around, and Peters is like having this moment, and you have DJ who comes up, it's like, Peters!
yeah, exactly.
It's like, stop. Why are we all walking around like this?
Yes, the tent scene is actually like kind of in that tone, which I'm talking about. It's just like it's creepy, you know, 'cause there's like a hand that moves on the tent or whatever. That's creepy and cool.
Yeah.
creepy cool stuff. But yeah, it's ruined by a jump scare.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
It would have been more impactful if it would have been like Jason, and just let Jason Isaacs do it, for God's sake. It would have been a soft Peters.
Yeah.
And it would all the noise would have stopped,
Yeah,
and
and
like
just like-
everything should have come out of it.
What?
Not like a startle, just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, are you okay? Like, you're having like a moment here. Like, are you okay? Like, no medical doctor would go up on somebody who's having like a moment, just be like, hey,
You doing all right?
hey.
There is a really interesting part of this scene, though. This is when they actually watch the video.
And this is great too, I will say.
Dude,
Is it?
well, it's actually fucking it's disastrous. Like, it's so terrifying. But the fact of the matter is that they actually shot. Oh my God! They brought in porn stars and amputees
Yeah.
Yeah.
to basically create the most evil orgy of all time, and they filmed it.
A lot of it.
A lot.
A lot of it.
They didn't even know if any of it was actually legal, what they were doing. They're like, it was fucking wow.
You can see glimpses of it, man, and like there's like people bent over and getting their shit pushed in and stuff, and like
A Diddy party.
I think this is what they call a
freak-off.
freak off.
This is a freak off.
it was a bloody freak.
This is where Diddy got the idea.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck.
You saw Event Horizon.
See, you know, it inspired a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right?
This movie inspired a lot of people. Ugh.
There it is. This is inspiring.
No, this shit is like
Event Horizon walked, so,
So
that
P. Diddy
Diddy could run.
could run from the wall.
fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, this is stuff I would want to see more of. Like I don't, but like,
Yeah, all right.
but
We're
at the
learning
same
more about
time,
his fetishes.
Yeah.
now,
at
aren't
the
we?
same time, I don't know if like the suggestion of it is more creepy than seeing a lot of it. But like the visions of hell, like even later we see like Justin in like a crucifixion kind of thing, and it's like a lot of Hellraiser inspired. It's almost like Hellraiser in space kind of
Yeah.
thing as well. That stuff is like you set it up, you set the creepiness up, and then you pay off with those images.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted the movie to be. That's why I maybe think Paul Anderson wanted it to be as well, and just couldn't have it that
Well,
way.
they had a lot of this kind of stuff, this is the stuff that made test audiences freak out and made a lot of people just literally like actually sick
and faint.
Actually faint.
Where that is used as like a promotion tactic now. They were literally fainting when they see this.
Right.
So you're saying if this movie would have come out today, that's really what they would have used for like promotion.
They would have
of
just
it.
said it.
They would have been like, yeah.
Even if they didn't,
people left.
Yeah, if people left, maybe they would have just said, people were fainting. But in these test screenings, they did actually faint.
Yeah.
That's what they're starting to change their way of promotion for Joker 2. They're like, people got up and walked out because it was so terrifying.
No, I think you're mixing up terrifying with terrible.
Oh, yeah. Weird.
Oh.
Did Mike Schulte ever say anything at all on record about how Joker 2 is going to be the worst movie ever made? Yeah, I think he did, probably.
Oh, no. I haven't seen it yet, actually.
I haven't
That's
either.
unfortunate.
I'm never going to see it.
Oh, shit. Well.
Yeah, you are.
No,
Come on.
I will never watch that movie.
Yeah, you will.
In 30 years, when we're reviewing it on the show, you
And
got
it's
it,
a
baby.
classic.
It's a classic. Ooh.
No, this is, and by the way, this is the stuff that becomes it becomes very heavy-handed, even when they're like doing the stuff, like the walking through the ship, like the doors. It should feel very symbolic, but again, it just comes across as heavy-handed, where it's like even the doors that are opening up, but the doors have spikes on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like the meat grinder room, and everything has spikes on it unnecessarily, and then you have these other moments where there's a lot of references to just like what I don't know if you call them like Christian undertones or religious undertones and things like that. The giving more of it, I think, would have been too much of the video, I guess. The sadomasochistic blood orgies and stuff like that. But people made a big deal out of it around this movie, and there's a very small amount of it actually in the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just kind of a weird thing. I didn't need more of it by any means, but people made a big deal out of it. And then when you get to those points, you're just kind of like, oh, okay. Well, it goes by pretty damn fast. So I don't know. It just seems like there's just like this constant identity crisis about like, is this movie too much? Is it not enough? Is it, it should have been crazier. It should have been wilder. It should have been more religious. It should have been this. It's like, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't.
I'm sure they didn't either, as much cuts they were probably making them make.
Yeah.
You're like, well,
I don't know.
let's just put it out. Fuck it. Like, it's done now. Like,
It's
whatever.
done. It's over.
It's a shame.
The thing about like Justin, like really like ejecting himself, though, I guess it was like a freaking weird. Like that was a pretty rough scene to watch.
Yeah.
It is pretty rough. So.
Well, Scene 4, Miller decides to destroy the event horizon despite the strong objections of Weir. While preparing to evacuate, Peters is led to her death as a result of being tricked by a manifestation of her son. Weir is compelled by her reanimated form to tear out his eyes. Weir then uses bombs fitted to the event horizon to destroy the Lewis and Clark, which kills its pilot Smith and causes Cooper to be thrown in space. Weir goes on to kill DJ and then activates the ship's gravity drive, beginning a 10-minute countdown.
I mean, there's a lot of action right here, too, where it's just, a lot of Cooper's best stuff is right here to me.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I think it's fun. I think it's like, at this point, the movie's not going to be what I want it to be. And
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so I'm just like having fun with it now. Now it's
Okay.
just kind of like a stupid action space movie with some creepy images at this point. And to hear, I'm coming, motherfuckers, is just like par for the course now.
What is that? Is that when he's already gotten ejected?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Lewis and Clark is blown up at this point, and then and then
Peters
he
falls and dies from her vision of her son.
Yeah, that's right.
Cooper's dialogue is hilarious there, only if you want it to be funny. It's the most unnatural dialogue you would ever have in your life.
Why is this
1,000%.
why does this shit always happen to me? Like that
Dude,
kind of stuff.
if I was 1 trillion miles away from my home, ejected into space, unable to get back to the evil ship that I don't even want to be on, I'm not going to talk like that to myself. I'm not even going to say a
I'm
word.
not going to talk to
I'm not
myself.
even going to talk. He's like, oh damn! If I could only do this, and I could get here. Oh, I'm gonna eject my suit. I'm gonna here I come. Like, no, you're not.
He's a rescue specialist, Mike.
You're not saying that. You're not saying
Kind of
that.
talks his way in and out of these situations. These
Anyway,
our plucky rescue crewman,
he's so funny.
Cooper. What's he gonna do or say next?
Yeah. But dude, it is
He's
like,
squirrely one.
Yeah.
who is it? Who goes? Peters chases her kid. I remember seeing this a long time ago and being like, you know what's going on the ship. Like, don't do anything. Don't go anywhere. Don't be fooled by anything. Oh yeah, it's your son. Who fucking cares? Stay where you're at. Don't chase it. Your son's creepy. It's like, now that I have kids, I'm like, oh, okay, that's the only thing that would actually make me.
Would actually make you do it.
I was talking to Logan earlier on the way. I'm like, yeah, my fight or flight would be like, oh, that's my kid. I'm going to get it. I don't care. I don't care that I might go to hell and there's evil demons here.
Yeah.
I'm getting my kid. And so I fully understand nowadays what Peters went through there.
The problem is that you know that that they're not on the ship though. You know that they're not here in space.
Yeah.
They're 8 billion light year click whatever Miller says away at home.
Well, but what if they were there somehow? What
No.
if they took another ship?
No.
What if they took another
Well,
ship?
They
there?
didn't take another
It was
ship,
a big
Mike.
surprise.
They
ship.
didn't do that.
What if
Look.
they got on Event Horizon to surprise you when you got there for your birthday?
Well, if your wife just like took them on a vacation to Event Horizon.
Everybody goes there nowadays.
Everybody goes now.
Everybody's doing it.
It's normal. Yeah, Mike, look, the dead giveaway here is that don't go down the creepy corridor that's shaped with the doors shaped like coffins. Okay?
Oh, no.
Dead
You
giveaway.
don't- you
No
don't
pun
wanna-
intended.
Nobody makes coffin doors like
Nobody
they
makes,
used to, you know?
yeah, they don't, and especially coffin corridors. There is it's just like all these doors, they're just shaped like coffins, and you're just like, boy, we're just really
Boy.
beating it over the head, aren't
Wow.
we? Death is upon you. That's all we get.
And that's all we
Are
get.
you telling
man.
me this ship is alive? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really the best conclusion we can come to, I think, at this point. Yeah.
For sure.
And it's not only is it alive, but it's evil.
It's an evil alive. So it's not one of those friendly ghosts like Casper?
Yep.
Nope. It's not, Captain.
Nope.
Damn it, I love that movie.
I mean, we at the end of this scene is when Sam Neill is all fucked up, right?
So no, at the end of this was when actually Cooper got thrown out to space yet. So I don't remember where he's at in that point.
I think it's right after this is where he's getting fucked up.
Do you want to go on to the scene 5?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So scene 5, Cooper, having used his spacesuit oxygen to propel him back to the ship, causes Weir to shoot the bridge window and be blown into space towards his apparent death. Miller attempts to detonate the explosives installed on the Event Horizon to split the ship in two, but is trapped inside the core with Weir. Miller sacrifices himself as the ship explodes and pulls the core into a wormhole. Stark and Cooper, with a comatose Justin, survive, and the remaining forward decks place themselves into stasis and are rescued.
Are they?
Did you catch before that explosion though? Who is the one that gets blown up by the explosion? The medical guy.
That's Sean Pertwee.
Yeah.
That's, what's his goddamn name?
It
No,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. Did you catch that as he opens the thing and he sees that 6 seconds are counting down? Right below it, there's a button that says disarm.
Are you serious?
Yeah. All he had to do was read something and go, oh, okay, cool. Got it.
No way.
Yes. Go back and watch it. It just
Oh,
says
God,
disarm.
I'm not going to go back and watch it, but
It doesn't say disarm. I'm just
You're
tricking
not
you.
gonna do a third rewatch.
here's
this
the thing.
Halloween
You
season?
know that I'm not going to do that, so I can't prove you wrong, but
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's just right there. Like, dude, just learn how to read a little bit, man. And it disarms right below it.
not like it was in Latin.
I mean, your parallels to Fifth Element are right here
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. Like, he didn't have a card to just slip in there.
Yep.
Disarm it.
the disarm card. He didn't have a disarm card.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have that.
Yeah, but this is where Weir is now
So,
basically slashed face.
First
guy
watching
and,
this
like,
as a fucking child and
No.
seeing Sam Neill looking
your
like
hero,
a,
your dinosaur expert hero.
yeah, seeing Sam Neill like a demon is very unsettling. Like when I first saw it, and still to this day, it's very unsettling. Like that's Dr. Grant, man.
Hey, man.
And now it's Dr. Gaunt.
Yeah,
It's very unsettling.
it is not good. And by the
Not
way,
good.
we need a mashup somewhere with Back to the Future. Eyes, where we're going, we don't need eyes. It's like, really? We're going to do that
We
one,
put
Doc
that
Brown?
in the movie, did we?
We had. Well, see, you guys don't understand it though because, in a black hole, light can't even escape. So, like, if there's no light, you don't need eyes to see. So I don't know. I can't believe you guys missed that point of the movie.
Well, shit.
Did you really not catch that detail?
That point of the movie.
Dr.
Apparently
Gaunt.
Dr. Gaunt.
Apparently the point
You
of
guys
the
didn't catch that, did you?
point of the movie can't even escape a black hole because it certainly didn't fucking make it here.
It's not a plot hole. It's a black
hole.
I do have a question for you. There's a couple questions that remain at the end of this movie, though. Is the ship?
A lot of questions. That
No, there
remain.
are, and this is actually kind of fun. This is actually
No,
where
seriously.
this is actually where I had the most fun with this movie. Is the ship still possessed at the end of this movie?
Like if it's been exploded or
Yeah, it's been exploded. The core and it goes down into the black hole. The remaining ships there, they go into stasis. They get rescued. She has a vision. Bam! Like, oh fuck! But then she wakes up and they're like, "It's okay, we rescued you." And the door closes and the movie ends. I think there's a lot of ambiguity there of like, is the ship still possessed?
I mean,
There
it
is
calls into question
ambiguity there.
of like the Amityville house, whether you believe in it or not. You know, if you cut off a section of the house and move it somewhere else, will that still be haunted because it's a part of that house? Interesting question.
I think there's actually a guy online, and I wish I had wrote this down. I'm so sorry. Rotted Reviews. It's a YouTube guy.
Okay.
He actually changed my mind completely on it. I was thinking, the evil's gone back to hell. She's just traumatized. She's in shock. That's why she had this scene. But he convinced me that the ship is 100% still haunted and on its way back to Earth now. And the reason being is that who's the one that gets Stark? Stark has she wakes up and she sees Weir and he's got his slashed up head.
Yeah.
He made the point that that Stark never actually saw Weir with the slashed up face. Never once. She was out. So she doesn't know the mental image of him with the slashed up face. So the fact that he was there in her dream with the slashed up face means that he is still on the ship and it would not let him leave. And he is still there to go back to Earth and take over and figure something else out.
Turn the Earth into living hell. Hell on Earth.
Oh my
I
God.
like that. And he I think that was a definitive answer to, is the ship still haunted or
I like
not?
that a lot.
I like that a lot. Did we ever see why she was knocked out? Why
No, I
Stark?
can't remember.
She almost got sucked out with Weir, of like when Cooper shot or he shot the thing at Cooper.
Yeah, but that's when Miller finds her and he's like, "Oh God, are you okay?" And then that's because he gets sucked out when he still has his eyes sewn up.
Exactly.
And that's why she goes out like that.
I think because Cooper got back inside, and then Cooper and Stark ran off to the escape pod pretty much, while Miller stayed behind to fight Weir.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Okay. And so at that point, and by the way, if he was so against the idea of having eyes, why did he put eyes back in?
right.
You know what I mean? Well, we don't need eyes, but I want
The
them
devil put it back in. He's
gonna-
like, God damn it, we haven't completed our mission. Why did you tear your eyes
I'm
out?
gonna
You
keep
need
him in
to
my
see.
back pocket.
It's like, well, I'm gonna pack him just in case. It's like,
Yep.
what is this, Mr. Potato Head? What the
It
fuck's
is,
going
man.
on? Like, I just want to know. But the one question I did want to ask, but I didn't get a chance to see if he had different colored eyes after that.
Oh, I don't remember.
And that's what I wanted to know, because I wanted to know if he took Peter's eyes or something like that. And that's what I thought about. I was like, I didn't see if his eyes were a different color, but his eyes are definitely more like Stark, more penetrating, I guess, when he's when he's got the slashed up face.
Yeah.
So I always wondered about that part, I guess, for myself, but I
also,
didn't get a chance to go and look.
This fight scene between Weir and Miller is it's not good.
Yeah.
But and it's because every time like Weir throws Miller, there's this weird, stupid, dumb sound effects.
Dude.
Stock
Yes.
sound effects that happen. And I can only blame it on like them not having the resources and them not having the time to like, it is so bad. Like, yeah, exactly. It's just like he gets thrown against something. He's like, it's the one you've heard all the time. Like in cartoons even.
It's essentially the sound effect that's the same Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
yes.
it's the
It'd have been
punching sound
better.
effect of Wilhelm scream.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that really took me out, and I'm just like, okay, well, now I'm just having a fun time because this is not taking itself seriously anymore.
The terrifying aspect of it, though, is assuming that Miller somehow still goes with the ship into hell, and that he's not
True.
and that he's not dead, and that he actually like is now in the hell party for the rest of eternity. Like, that's pretty terrifying to think about.
Yeah.
Because he I mean, him and the Corps go in there, but has he killed himself with the explosion? No, actually, no.
We see.
No,
you
the
see
explosion.
the ship.
The explosion is just in the corridor, so the Corps is completely intact, and he is alive.
No, you see the ship blow. You
No,
see
but
the
that's-
back side of it blow.
But how does it blow up? He didn't put any bombs in there.
I'm almost positive that's what happened.
I don't know. I thought that the corridor explodes, separating the ship, and the Corps gets sucked into because the Corps got the black hole and it goes into hell through the wormhole. So he's alive.
This is what Paul Anderson wanted.
And those are the things. Those are the things I want.
See,
But nah, they're like, nah.
but
no, why would we do that?
So much of the movie doesn't lend itself to that. To having this conversation.
Exactly.
I'm
You know what I
trying to
mean?
have it.
I know, and I want to have it too, but at the same time, I also just want to be done with this season of movies.
Wait till Christmas, baby.
Ugh.
AJ, just wait, man. You get a massive input for Christmas this year. So.
I know. But
And if you choose Santa Claus 2, I'm going to fucking kill you.
come on.
Come on.
It's pretty good.
Well, anything else you want to talk about on this one, boys?
I don't think so. The only thing, did we resolve anything about whether or not the ship is still haunted?
It is.
It is still haunted.
yeah.
We've decided.
I like that it is because the like false jump scare just is
It's
what
stupid.
I don't like about the whole movie. It
Yeah.
just keeps happening and it ends on it.
And maybe it's too comforting that Cooper just keeps saying we're safe now. We're safe as that door closes and
The
he's
spiked, scary door closes.
as he's still asking for a sedative, for
Yeah.
her. All right,
And then
it's-
credits.
Oh my God!
Even worse than the
Oh
intro.
Jesus, guys, we forgot about the most important part that he made sure was in the budget to make sure we could pay the band Orbit or whatever the fuck their
Orgy.
name was.
Orgy, get it right.
Orbit Orgy.
Prodigy.
That,
if it would have been Prodigy, it would have been fucking dope.
but like, and it just comes back to that. That's a bad choice.
I was already kind of disappointed. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck you.
And then
I was
because
writing my modern day rating now. I go, nope.
whoa, we're gonna drop that back another 1.5, because at this point, all I can imagine is his vision for it was like, oh, it ends ominously. And then he's sitting there, and it goes, and he's just like, and then that's when the audience is like, all right, yeah, the lights are coming up, yeah, woo, all right, yeah. There's an applause from
What
the
a
audience.
ride.
Yeah.
What a ride, dude.
What a ride.
Wow.
Dude, I'm coming back tomorrow.
I'm
Dude,
bringing
we
four
should
of
see
my
this
friends.
again. There's a lot of questions I still have. We should come see it again.
I'm
It's
grabbing
like-
my buddy Gary, and we're fucking coming and watching it again, dude. Like, yeah.
Gary loves these movies.
Dude, Gary's gonna love this one,
Gary
man.
was working tonight. He couldn't make it.
He couldn't come tonight, but I'll go again with him because I think Gary will have some good questions too. There's a lot of unanswered questions here. That's why I go back to movies. Let's listen to the rest of this song though.
There are certain movies where people do stick around to the end.
yeah.
This theater was cleared out in seconds.
We should stay and
It
hang
was
out.
cleared out in seconds.
Dude, I'm gonna finish some of my popcorn. Said no one ever.
No, my popcorn's already done. All right, boys. We got to give it a modern day rating. We stripped away the nostalgia. AJ, let's go to you, man. What do you think about this one?
It's kind of a bummer actually because as much crap as I give to like the scary movies and stuff, like we watch something like The Silence of the Lambs and it's awesome. And then you have something like this that feels like there's a lot of potential here for a movie for this to shine, and it just falls flat because unfortunately I hate reading those stories and that backstory of a movie where it's like, yeah, we test audiences and producers got heavy-handed into the final creative say of the movie like this, and you end up cutting out 35 minutes of a 2.5 hour movie, 2 hour 40, something like that. That's a bummer. So I like the acting, the cast. I like the cast. I love the cast. And I think as a guy who does not like scary movies, you could have given some more things to be actually scared of rather than just the gore and the gruesome, like some of those aspects. And I'm not saying I needed more of that necessarily, but you could have even added in a little bit more of that or left some in to give us something to chew on here. That being said, it does. Do I like when a movie leaves me with questions? Yeah, because there's The Thing, and that's like a top tier movie to me now. Do I like it when movies leave me with questions? Not in this case, guys.
Not always.
I'm so sorry. So not in this case. So honestly, at this point, I don't know. I personally, I don't see myself revisiting this movie. So I'm gonna have to give this. I'm gonna give it a 3.75.
Sean, what about you?
One more. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
That was the one big thing. Is you've trimmed out so much of the gore and so much of the things that they didn't like, that the fact that you trimmed out so much of it but left that much in made it so incredibly unnecessary that it's worse off. Sorry, go ahead.
I think I agree with you. I like the actors a lot, and the performances are fun. I think some of the concept itself is so fucking dope. Mm-hmm. And there's glimpses of it being like how I think that movie should be. When he's in the corridor, like the fixing the thing, the green thing, or when Miller is explaining the thing to DJ. Like those are really good scenes, and I think they knew what they had. They just didn't execute it that well, or it was stripped away from them. It's hard to tell. But what we have as this movie right now, I think ends up being a fun movie with a lot more potential that it does not live up to whatsoever. But in that same respect, I'm going to give it a 6. This is probably a definition of a 6 for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with both you guys. I can understand what I wish it would have been, and I can understand why people loved it back then. I totally get why you think,
or coming to love it now.
Yeah, with having it's a cool concept, and it's there's some great moments in it. But man, this is one of those movies where if you do really love it, you gotta be honest with yourself and strip away some of that and be like, could have been better. And so I'm gonna give it a 5.666 because devil horns, bro. We got to go to executive producer Josh Miller. He said, "I have seen this movie a handful of times since '97. I'm almost positive I have it on DVD and possibly Blu-ray. I'm not sure about the Blu-ray. This movie has battled a lot in the verse. In the verse." There was an apparent director's cut that has been lost forever. This version, according to actors and Paul W.S. Anderson, it's just more graphic, brutally, gore, and violence. It's a rabbit hole that's worth a look if anyone is interested. Here's a post from a Reddit page. Take it with a grain of salt. There is one copy of lost footage. Vinegar Syndrome found the guy who had it, a producer, I think, when they did their steelbook for EH. The lost footage is on a VHS tape, and this asshat isn't giving it up. I also heard that it's just not good enough. The quality of it's not good enough. Yeah. Anderson went on to say that the deleted footage was never achieved because at the time that stuff wasn't included on VHS copies, and this was a couple years before DVD really got a footing. On my handful of rewatches, I do feel this movie for me has improved with age. The acting was decent. Some other dialogue, Some of the dialogue was cheesy and felt forced at first, but I won't criticize it. Some of the digital effects are showing their age as they should, and most of the set design and practical effects look and feel good to the mind. The plot and science behind it still gripping today, although watching with a critical eye, I have questions. Weir says the ship is capable of faster-than-light flight and can instantaneously jump from one point to another, yet a trip that would normally take 1,000 years now takes a day. Lastly, I feel the ending fell flat and they shot three. And fell flat and they shot three. This is what they landed on. I wish they would have done a bit more pre-story on the ship and where it actually went, not just the brutal cut scenes. At the time, this was ultra-violent and gory, which hurt its appeal, but in the modern-day world of ultra-violent movies like Hostel, A Serbian Film, Human Centipede, and Terrifier, apparently 3 is wildly violent even for Terrifier, Event Horizon would be more at home today. Final modern day score better than the first time I saw it, and will continue to watch it every few years. 6.9999.
All right.
So, boys, as a group, we are a 5.6. And if you're going to go to the modern day ratings, that feels pretty good. 5.6 is going to take it all the way to All Alone at the 159th spot of any movie we've done. We do feel that Teen Wolf is a better movie, but we like this more than Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you that's where it fell, okay? And you can't argue with the science on this.
No.
Oof. You can't.
Well, we
can't argue with science.
We hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for being here, guys. Tune in next week for the conclusion of spooky season, Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's right.
And then we're jumping into an anniversary review here. We got the original Terminator. It's time to finally do it. And if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year. Halloween, baby. That was a fun episode. And I know you watched the movie. Listen to our episode. Let's do it.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll keep listening along, guys. We'll keep pumping them out. Thanks for checking us out on YouTube, because you got to be watching us on YouTube by now, at least checking out a couple of clips here and there. Check us out on YouTube. Leave us a review on your preferred podcast platform. By all means, 5 stars is always appreciated. Write us a review. Leave us a comment on Spotify. And check us out on the social media at Confused Breakfast. Just search for Confused Breakfast anywhere on social media. You'll find us.
ConfusedBreakfast.com. You can go see our merch store. You can get some shirts, you can get some hats, some buttons, some stickers, koozies, whatever you like. Go to the same damn website and see the ratings of the movies that we've covered. See AJ's ratings. You can see my ratings, and you can see Mike's ratings, and the show's ratings overall. Goodbye. I love you.
Produced by Upload Media Group in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com. We got Logan in the room with us. That was him. He's scary. And we are on Cloud 10 Network. Please learn more at cloud10.fm. That's it for us. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye. Justin!